Hey everyone, it's Adam Mitchell here, and we're back with another trade recap. And I'm ending the day break even. I'm up $1. I was doing okay. I was up about $30 until my last trade on EVAX, and I got stopped out. And yeah, that put me back to break even, and I ran out of buying power as well. So I'm done for the day. So I figured I'd just go ahead and make my video now. So yeah, it was a break-even day. Today was very choppy and difficult, but there was some good opportunity on AGRI, and I really wish I would have capitalized on it, because there were some good entries, like some very obvious entries, and that stock was the one to get green on in a pretty decent way. So yeah, let's get into today's trades. And yeah, if you aren't subscribed, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so my first trade was on EVAX. Now, I took 250 shares when I noticed that there was this flat bottom right here. So I got in with 250 shares at 311, and I'm expecting this thing to make a decent squeeze up. Now, EVAX was very choppy and moving very oddly this morning. As we're about to see, I'll go ahead and press play on this so we can see how this thing moved. So I'm waiting for it to squeeze up. It's holding up. And right there, okay, so boom, insane, absolutely insane. So I went ahead and sold it because, this just didn't look good. And this happened a few times on this stock this morning where this wick just appears. And what that tells me is that there were a lot of people that placed their orders all throughout this range, all the way up to 350, and it all got filled. There had to be some really big orders up here just waiting to get filled, and they got filled, and the net result was that price came all the way back down. And so, that tells me that I probably need to start putting my orders out there to get filled instead of waiting for it to squeeze up and then hitting sell. I've noticed stuff like this happening quite frequently where the wick just appears, and, then I miss my opportunity to get green on it. So I went ahead and sold it. I locked up $3 of profit. That was pretty annoying. All right, let's see what my next trade was. All right, so my next trade was on FOXO. I got in with 200 shares on this dip down to 267, and it wasn't really popping up, and I just went ahead and cut it because I felt like it was going to start to make its way down. But yeah, so then we switch back over to EVAX, and we can see that it happened again right here where this big wick just appeared. And for some reason, I decided to take this trade right here at 322. I got in with 150 shares. I don't really know what I saw in this trade, but I put my order out here because, just in case it did make that squeeze up, I wanted to get filled. But I went ahead and cut it, and I lost like $6 on it because I was up 3 and now I'm down 3. Okay, so I'm not really getting green. I'm down like $7 to $10 on the day right now. All right, so then I switch over to AGRI. So, I missed this better entry down here, because there was this very clear flat bottom right here. And, when it was squeezing up through VWAP, that's where I decided to get in. I got in with 400 shares at 183, and I'm looking for this thing to squeeze up to 192. So let's see what happens. So we're making a little bit of a pullback here, and we're still hanging around my entry. And now we're kind of squeezing up again. And right there, we get the break through this level right here. Now we're up at 187, and I'm locking up some profit. And through all of this, I was able to lock up $15, which, that's cool. I'm making my way up to the profit target. And man, coming back to EVAX, we can see that this happened again where, there were a lot of people that had buy orders down here, most likely. Like so many buy orders that price came down and shot back up instantly. So, it's just another sign to me that I need to start maybe putting my profit orders out so that they get filled, and my buy orders out as well. So I come back to AGRI, and I start just kind of taking stabs on it as it's breaking up, and I lost a few bucks. And let's see. And so, this would have been a good dip entry right here, but I missed it. It came down all the way to 181, squeezed up off that level. Now we're up at 193. I mean, that's a really good move. There was a lot of opportunity throughout this move here. We could have gotten in down here once we noticed that there was a level of support. Maybe we could have taken profit up in here, added back down here, taken profit up here, added back down here, taken profit up here. And, that would have been money to be made there. So, I'm just kind of missing out. So AGRI is holding up again, and I decide to get in again, and I lose another few bucks. So now I've cut my profits in half on AGRI. And, I just keep taking stabs on this thing, taking trades into support here and so on. And so I wound up $12 in the green on this stock by this point. It's about 10 o'clock. And I'm just not really getting all that green. But, I'm still hanging in there, seeing if I can make something happen. And then I switch over to BYND. Now, this is a trade that I left some money on the table. So I'm in with 100 shares at 733. And I'm just looking for this thing to squeeze up, and just lock up like 20 to 30 bucks of profit. But I kind of get scared on it, and I just go ahead and sell it and locked up $2. But then it started to curl back up. Here, I'm going to pull the chart up on that real quick. So here's the chart on this. I had gotten in, I think it was here, and it squeezed up. So I got in at 1733, and it squeezed up to 1753, and that would have been, some decent profit. And then it's just been trending downwards for the rest of the morning. So yeah, let's see what my next trade was. All right, so right here, I'm getting in with 300 shares on AGRI at 188. And I'm looking for this thing to make that ramp back up into the high. So we're kind of making a squeeze up here. I'm still holding it. I'm waiting for it to really pop up. And so up into this move right here, I sold it. And now I'm up 25 on this stock. And, it made a good squeeze up. I definitely left some profit on the table. And man, like we really squeezed up into the highs. So it's like this would have been a great trade to really just hold into the highs. But I didn't do that. I left money on the table. And now I'm buying back in at the highs because I'm just wanting to see it come up and tap 2 and then break up to 215, which was the pre-market high. It was at 215. And, I just went ahead and sold it because it wasn't really holding up. And then I get back in again. I just keep getting in and out on this thing. So right there, I added, I bought 400 shares at 191 on this dip here. And it was kind of squeezing up a little bit. And I went ahead and sold it. And now I'm up 33 on this stock. So AGRI is coming through for me, but I'm leaving money on the table. So then I take another stab on AGRI as it came up into the high. I bought a dip down into this level here at 193. And let's see, I'm in with 400 shares at 191 because we're making that bigger pullback, and I just want to see it come back up into the highs again so I can lock up more profit. And so I just went ahead and cut it, and I'm still up only $33. All right, so then my next trade was on EVAX. Now this was a good entry, and again, I just didn't hold on to it. I got in with 200 shares at 294 because we have this clear level of support right here. We made a squeeze up over 3, and then we backed off, and now we make this dip, and I buy this dip because now I'm expecting this thing to curl back up. But I just go ahead and cut it, and now I'm down in total $7 on the stock. And, fast forwarding on the chart, I mean, it made a really nice curl off of that level. And now we're coming up into 309, right, which corresponds with this resistance level right here because we have a double top at 309. So that would have been the place to start taking profit. And I just didn't hold this thing. Man, it's like, come on, dude. Hold your fucking trade so you can make some money. So, yeah, I missed profit on that. And, you know, as always, there's been so many opportunities for me to have hit my profit target for the day. And I'm just not performing well and making that profit. So, but, you know, then I took a trade on SLNG, right? So we can see right here that I'm in with 20 shares at 1060. Right, so we're coming up into 11, and I've got my profit order out here to sell it at just under 1150. You know, because then that would have been like a $15 to $20 winner if I got filled. And so, you know, it's just all I have to do is hold my trade. Just hold my trade so I can make that profit. But let's see what I do. I sell it early, so I sold it, basically break even, and then we can see right here it makes that break up. And you know, now we're at 1110 and we hit a high of 1142 on that candle. So there's another instance of me leaving profit on the table. And, you know, we can see here that this candle tapped 1150 and it backed off that level. So I had the right idea. I just didn't see it through. All right, let's see what happens next. So here we're looking at EVAX again. And we're holding these lows, and the same thing happens like what happened back here where we just had these big wicks appear. I'm going to press play so we can just see how quickly it happened. Boom. What the fuck? Like this thing squeezed all the way up to 330, and so this has been a trend on this stock all morning. And we're going to see on my last trade that I lost on, I thought that the trend was going to continue, but I wound up taking a loss instead. So looking back at AGRI, you know, there was again a lot of opportunity to take some trades, right? Like we kept coming down into this support level, and then we came up into this resistance level, and then we come back down again and come back up into the resistance level, and then we break up over it, kind of squeeze up higher. You know, it's not the biggest range, but, you know, there was opportunity to do something on this stock here. And you know, even this right here, I'm going to pull the chart up on AGRI. You know, this dip to 180 would have been a good entry, because it corresponds with these lows right here, and we come down into that level and then squeeze back up. I mean, there was opportunity, and then we have these ascending lows here. And so, yeah, there was just a lot of opportunity to just keep stacking it up on this stock. Let's see what I continue to do. You know, I keep taking stabs on this thing with 400 shares and just keep kind of stacking it up. And so now we can see I'm up 39 on this stock. And then boom, I took this entry down here, which was a fantastic entry. I got in with 400 shares at 190 or 188. And now I'm just looking for this thing to curl back up again, up into the highs. It's kind of squeezing up there. And then it backs off, and I just go ahead and sell it like an idiot. And then let's see what it did off of this level. So this was at 1115. So it backed off, but it came into the 200 moving average, and it was only, you know, it only came down to 186. So I would have, you know, I was very well within my max loss, right? My max loss per trade is $20. Theoretically, I should have been holding this thing still, because then it makes this curl up to 194. And that would have been decent profit. And, you know, we just kept coming up into the high of day and backing off. But, man, there's so much opportunity to do well on this stock and to just keep stacking it up. So, yeah, that was my last trade on AGRI. And by this point, I was up $30 on the day, which isn't bad. I mean, it's been a really choppy morning. So being green on a day like today is pretty impressive, right? And so, but my last trade that I took just wiped it all away, which we're about to see here. So here we go, EVAX. So EVAX, I'm keeping an eye on this resistance level at 309, and I'm gonna buy if it can break that level. And so let's see. All right, so here we go. I've got my orders placed. I have my buy orders set at 311, and now I have my stop loss placed and my profit target placed. Because I'm thinking that if it breaks, we're just going to see another quick wick and then a sell-off. So there we go. I just got filled 200 shares at 311, and we are coming up into VWAP. So that is another tricky thing. You know, we did have all this resistance to the top side, and maybe I should have taken that into consideration and not taken this trade. But I was like, man, I bet we're going to see another one of these quick wicks and then a sell-off. So let's see what happens. So I'll press play, and we're kind of squeezing up, and I'm just like, come on, let's just get that big push to the upside. Like, we can do it. Like, we should be, and then boom, it just sells off and I get stopped out. And I lost like $25 or something on that trade, like 25 to 30 bucks on that trade, which put me up $1 on the day. So a break-even day. But man, that was disappointing. Today in general was just really tricky. And so I'm glad that I didn't lose a bunch. I'm ending the day break even, and that's better than losing. So, you know, but it would have been really cool to end the day green and even hit my profit target, because there was a lot of opportunity to hit my profit target this morning, but I just couldn't make it happen. But I do notice myself trading better. I've traded better, I think, the last couple days, but I'm still having those issues of not holding my trades long enough, missing trades. I've been keeping my emotions in check, I think. You know, like after I took that losing trade, I was out of buying power, but I can just feel my emotions just kind of boiling underneath the surface and flaring up, you know, just as I'm getting older and as I'm getting better at trading. You know, it's like I need to just not give into my emotions and not give into the negative thinking when I feel those emotions start to flare up. So yeah, you know, those are today's trades, and I'm hoping that Thursday and Friday present some really good opportunities for me to hit my profit target. So we will see what happens. And yeah, if you guys like my trade recaps, please do me a favor and hit the subscribe button. I would love to see my channel grow and just, you know, just like my profit target or my daily profit, you know, I just want to see the numbers go up. So please hit the subscribe button and please hit the like button, and I will see you guys in the next one. All right.